Hi everybody, welcome to Stay in Love Motivations. I'm Vanessa Klinger, your intuitive life strategist and life coach motivator. Welcome to this week's post. Can you believe it? We live in sunny Florida and it's about 55 degrees today in March. Only in Florida. Well, today I wanted to talk about fear. Fear is the culprit in the ultimate demise of your life. Fear is the culprit that stems from all of the negative emotions that you allow yourself to experience. During the previous experience that I had last few weeks ago, I told you last week in last week's post that the emotion that I was feeling the most was fear. When that emotion began to take control and take over me, I allowed it to. Then I began to create in my mind scenarios that only fed the fear. And only when I took control over my emotions that I began to take the helm of the direction of my life. I understand now that had I succumbed to the fear and embraced the fear continually and continually fed the fear and created these scenarios of fear, that they would have to manifest. So, what did I learn from all that? I learned that we all will have these emotions that we will experience, but fear is the culprit. So, I learned that whenever I would be experiencing fear, I need to ask myself, what is it I'm really afraid of? What is it that possibly is causing me to be afraid? When you address and ask yourself that question, then you begin to take control, face the fear, because we all learned that fear is false evidence appearing real. I also learned something last week watching Oprah's Super Soul Sunday, where she had Panache Desai on, and he is a wonderful wisdom teacher, I call him. And he said fear is a part of the human experience, but it shouldn't dominate your experience. That says to me that we are all going to experience fear, but it shouldn't dominate and take control of our lives. So many of us are allowing fear to drive us and wondering why all of these scenarios and situations and experiences and circumstances in our life is just chaotic and just destructive. It's all fear-based. We're allowing fear to drive our lives. So I've learned, my loves, that I choose to allow faith to drive me. Faith to drive my situations. Faith to drive my circumstances and situations in my life. And now I've learned that whenever I experience fear, I ask myself, what is it you're really afraid of? What's the worst that could possibly happen? And you know, Mark Twain, he's famous for quoting, saying that 80% of the things I feared never happened. So the next time you, and you know what fear feels like, the next time you start feeling fearful, ask yourself, what is it I'm really afraid of? Address the issue, take control back and say, wait a minute, I am the master of my soul. I control my life. God is for me. When you begin to take that control back, then you take the direction back in your life and you begin to get in line with Spirit, and He will lead you and guide you into the life that you want to have. I also learned that fear is what produces all those negative emotions that produce the demise in my life, preventing me from creating the life that I really wanted. That's all fear does. It is a block. It's a blockage into allowing you to go with the flow of your life. Stay in your place of joy, because you can't be joyful and fearful at the same time. You can't. So the next time you start experiencing that feeling of fear, take it back. Take your power back. Okay? Let's see what else I wanted to cover with you guys. The majority of people are operating from a place of fear, because that's what some of us, all of us, have been conditioned to believe about our situation and circumstances. Have you noticed that certain people you're in communication with, and the first thing that come out of their mouths is the end result, something negative? You know, in spite of all the spiritual teachings and the words that we've memorized and the scriptures that we memorized, yet still in all, they'll say something like this, like, well, I have so many competitors. I'm applying for this wonderful job, and there's so many competitors in place. And even though you know that you are the most qualified, that God is for you, that you have prepared, you still say, yeah, but I might not get it. Why? Why are you believing that? When you know that you're victorious, when you know that you're the master of your situation, why do you choose to create a scenario of your outcome to be negative? Why not stay in that place of creating an end result of positivity? When you do that, my loves, even if you don't, let's say, obtain that job, guess what? You're still going into the direction of acquiring what you would like to see happen, because you have spoken it, that word out, you've transmitted it, and we know that the word cannot return void. So if you speak out the positive end result, eventually you will meet that. Your feelings decide on what type of life you want to have, what type of experience you want to have. So choose to stay in those joyful feelings. Face the fear. Be brave, because there's nothing to fear but fear itself. And we know that fear is false evidence appearing real. And I wanted to leave today's post with something that I've learned when I was going through the experience. I was watching Richardson on Oprah, and they were actually talking about when you encounter these experiences. I love how God works, because even in spite of whatever you're experiencing, the Spirit is constantly speaking to you, constantly telling you to keep on keeping on and keep going. And she said, this is a quote that helped me get to all of the experiences in my life, that things that where I saw as challenges. And she said that out of this experience, only good can come to me. I just took that and ran with it. So now, whenever I'm feeling a little off kilter, I'll say, out of this experience, only good can come to me. And then it helps you to stay in control and speak things, stay in your positive place, and allow those things to come to you. So my loves, going into next week, I want you guys to really understand that there's nothing to fear but fear itself. Fear is false evidence appearing real. That means it's a lie. And you are in control of it. You are the master of it. And if you can embrace and realize what fear really is, that it's the root and the culprit of your demise, then you will stay in your place of power and see how your situations, to see how you will be in control of your situations. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm in lovely sunny Florida. Even though it's 55 degrees, I'm loving it. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And remember, stay in love.